Alright, we should be live. Check all my things. Starting a little bit earlier than I intended to, by about an hour. I usually stream around 5. You know, my Christmas party later that I'm super excited about. So I'm like, oh, I still want to live stream, hang out with you guys, so I'll do it a little earlier instead of canceling. Oh wow, there's actually people here. I'm surprised. I figured it'd just be me, myself, and I hanging out. This is cool. Alright. Yeah, everything looks good. Sweet. Alright, so today we're going to be sculpting the Tanaruk, which I'm really excited about because it's a monster and I can flex more of like, I don't know, look guys, I know what I'm doing kind of things. I feel like with the city guard, there was a lot of struggling, which is good to show, but I want to show that I know what I'm doing too. Alright, so the Tanaruk is interesting here because I couldn't find any other concept art for it. I did a few minutes of Googling before starting the stream, and I'll show you guys what I found, which is nothing. This is the other thing I found I thought was cool, and this is not a Tanaruk. I mean, it says it is, but it's just not. It looks totally different. It has like goat legs and meh. So reading the wiki, I got it's just an orc who's been tainted by a demon, essentially. Actually, I haven't looked at what that demon looks like. Okay, just looks like a demon. Neat. So I'm gonna be pretty flexible on how I do this. Probably gonna, why is it gigantic ad? Just gonna sculpt like a general orc face, really exaggerating the bottom tusks and obviously keeping the horns pretty similar. But the rest of it's just gonna be kind of more or less my own design. I kept thinking this is a tail. It is not. So I'm gonna try to remember not to add a tail because I keep thinking there is one. Also, I finally picked a different matte cap that I like. I went to Pixelogic and I found under matte, I think it's this one that I grabbed. Nope, I already forgot. Whatever, I downloaded one of these. Now I'll show you guys how easy it is to load up a new matte cap. Pretend this is it. I think it was. You just click this button here. It'll download it. You'll need to extract your folder, so it looks like this. And then now you can put it in your startup, so it's there every single time. If you want to just try out matte caps, all you do is bring up ZBrush, go to your matte caps, and then click on load. I did miss one important step there, which is holding spacebar. That's how I got to this. This is definitely not the matte cap I usually use, but it looks cool, so let's go with it. All right, I'm also gonna input my reference picture of the Tanaruk in here. To do that, I go to texture, import. I'm gonna grab my picture that I snipped off the internet, go draw, front, back, turning on the floor first, map, there we go. I know to do that really fast, so if you need me to repeat anything, just let me know. I have a tutorial video on that specifically on YouTube as well, if you need to go a little slower. Alright, so this is pretty, it's a human, essentially. I have a backwards knee thing going on here, so I'll add that. But other than that, this is pretty human, so I'm going to import a base mesh of a dude. Alright, base meshes, there we go. Yeah, this is kind of a funky matte cap, but I think I like it. I can really see good detail differences. All right. Kind of looking at what I have here. Gonna divide a few times so it looks a little bit smoother. Yeah. Gonna do what I normally do, split off the heads and the hand. All right. Now I'm going to Dynamesh this and get that shape that I want for the bottom legs. And just the general torso, I need to be thicker and stuff too. So I'm going to go to Dynamesh. My parakeet's waking up more now that I'm talking. All right. So I want to get that really nice square chest. So I use a move brush and bring this out. It's going to look goofy. That's all right. Going in with an inflate brush just a little bit. Because he should have a really big, larger than life sort of physique. That's looking better. He has these little legs and little hands and arms. That's okay. Going a damn standard, I'm just gonna kind of roughly block out his pecs here and abs. Literally just drawing on like a grid, just for later on reference for me. Going in with clay buildup with a lower Z intensity. Kind of just scribbling in some shape here. Again, this is just reference for me later more than anything. remind myself to put all those, blocking all those shapes. This is a little too barrel chested right here. So I'm gonna take that away a little bit. That looks better. I also have way more polygons than I meant to have. I'm about 1.4 million. I don't want that. So I'm gonna lower my resolution. Oh, hey, Kat's here. Hello. And she mentioned, yeah, she likes to switch from matte caps from time to time. So she lets everything work on more. Yeah, I totally agree. This one's really orangey. That's alright. Alright, a little glitching happening there. I'm going to build up the form of the legs a little bit with back face mask on because I don't want the back of the legs to get all deformed. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, what I'm referring to is that if your brush size is larger than the thickness of your mesh, so if I did this, for example, if that's thicker, this wouldn't be a problem. This would. It will affect the back side. So I'll sculpt here and it'll like suck in the back and deform it and it looks really weird. We can prevent that with back face mask. You can find that under brush, auto masking. Yeah, back face mask. I haven't found it in forever because I have it pinned right here. All right, and I'm just bulking up the legs a little bit before I deform them. Yeah, Burble, I hear you singing. I have the birdcage right next to my desk in case you couldn't tell. All right, he likes to come out and cause problems. He loves keyboards because mine are lit up. All right. There you go. Oh yeah, he's like wanting to yell into the mic. He's not, he's doing okay.
Well,
worst case scenario, we'll just boot him for right now.
Exactly, we'll just cover him up and see how he does.
He's doing pretty good. He's like, I just want to hang out. I mean, as far as he's concerned, I'm talking to him, so. All right. So to start getting this backward facing knee, I do have a base for this already. I think it's the Cobalt mesh, but I looked at it and I didn't really like it. So I'm just gonna sculpt it again from scratch. This front part of the thigh should stick out more like this. I think that's good enough. I can always adjust it more later. And then this should bend back more. Again, I'm working pretty quick, so if you're curious how anything is happening, let me know. I'm working on getting a little thing down here where you can actually see every button that I'm clicking, which I think is gonna be really helpful. All right. That worked better than I anticipated. Ooh. Usually what I do is I grab the foot and I stick all of it down right there and it just makes this more difficult. This actually did a pretty good job of just quickly getting the shape I want. His feet are a little small. So I'm bringing up this 3D gizmo, I'm clicking on W, and I can reposition it by holding Alt and dragging it around, which is super helpful. All right, I definitely don't want these feet to be so small, so I like to go from the bottom view here. Yeah, smooth those out. Okay, I'm gonna turn off perspective. That way I can get just that bottom piece. Turn it back on by clicking P. Now I can drag these up and give them more form and shape. Look at my reference. Yeah, he has really short toes in this actually. So I will go in with trim rectangle and clip. I might change that part of the design because I want to make sure he looks balanced still. And I don't know if he's gonna look balanced otherwise. All right, he's looking a little spindly, but this is the general shape. I also think his legs are way too long. So I'm going to just go up here with the 3D gizmo, oops, and then strengthen them up by grabbing this little green block. Not a ton. All right, now part of the reason it looks weird is because, one, his butt is weirdly low. So I'm going to sculpt that on a bit higher where it's supposed to be. I really don't need to go through the effort of defining this, but it helps me a lot to know where all my muscle groups are. Okay. Neat, bubble butt check. Now adding muscle definition to his legs because he has like really big calves. I don't know what you'd call those because this is different. This bone here is also a little longer than it should be. So I'm going to shrink it up. Oh, I see Zaxis is here. Hello. I'm like, again, really surprised people are joining in. I figured, I don't know, since I don't have like a normal 9 to 5, I have a really hard time knowing like most people's schedule. Again, I know a lot of you guys are all over the country and the world actually. So I'm glad this time actually worked for a lot of you. Neat. And yeah, I've been loving doing these live streams. I think this is like super freaking fun. So this sculpting week is definitely going, it might just become a normal perk actually. I'm thinking about just making this part of the tier because I just really enjoy it. I also just do better, more focused work. Like if I did the city guard by myself, it wouldn't have nearly as much detail because I don't know, that model again kind of blindsided me with how much work it required. But no, since I was doing it live, I just ended up having more fun with it. As opposed to being like, oh, I just need to get this done, whatever. I had a much better attitude. There we go. His legs are so small still. Wow, this guy's really muscly. Okay. Note to self. More. All right, so to do that, I'm going to focus on each. I don't want this to become too blobby, so when I'm building up form, I'm gonna build up form like on the knees, focusing that as a separate piece. This thigh muscle here is actually pretty good. I don't want to make that too much bigger. This is too thin. I think his thighs are thick enough. Again, this is working so well because I have back face mask on. So if you're trying something like this and it's tearing up your mesh, that's why. Also notice I am regularly dynameshing. Gonna build up this back bone here a little bit more. I'm also building up this more. I think this is so much fun. This is one of my favorite parts of modeling, is just blocking out characters and stuff. Starting early next year, around March or so, I should be working on moving into a house, which we're really, really excited about. I'm probably gonna rent to start with, and then move from there, because we want a house with land and stuff, because I want horses, so and goats and everything. But we're really excited, and I bring that up because we'll be away from an airport, so you guys won't hear airplane noises in the background all the time. We're not even that close to the airport, in my opinion, but man, they're everywhere. Oh, Terry joined too. Hello, Terry. All right. Kat said, I was lucky, started work super early this morning, so I had to quit for the day right after the stream started. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. I'm glad that worked out. You guys are pretty much my core, like, audience here. You guys come around a lot, so especially if you guys have like suggestions like, hey, if this was better, I don't know, I know the audio quality is actually really good and doesn't lag anymore, but if you had other things that would make this stream more helpful to you, let me know. I think having a little box like right here at the bottom showing every keystroke I do would be super helpful. You can expect that by next week. So trim dynamic I usually do for like hard surface, but it can be kind of nice to block in harder shapes like kneecaps. Obviously I don't keep the hard lines there, just a little bit. But yeah, I've been so enjoying seeing your guys' work in progress sculpts in the Discord. You guys are seriously funny, and you have a good attitude about it too. Again, I really don't need to define his butt so much, but I just want the base mesh to look good. I think I'm gonna reuse this base mesh as well, which is part of the reason why I'm trying to make this look good. All right, that's pretty good. This weird boxy Kylo Ren chest is not happening for me. So we're gonna give him hip bones and stuff. Nothing against the actor that plays Kylo Ren, but my god, that shot in Star Wars was really weird. All right. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm gonna just inflate his hands a little bit, just to make him a little longer. Oh, right, his head. I forgot of his head. We're gonna split that real quick. Nope. Split. I really should dock that here because I use that so much more often than I think. I had so much fun this month doing pretty much all monsters with the Silver Dragon, the Peacock Griffin, the Chimera, and Chinese Dragon. Literally just doing all monsters. And I'm trying to get away from them a little bit because I think I'm better at them. And I want my people to, I don't want them to fall too far behind. That being said, it feels really good to sculpt something a little more effortlessly live. Again, I know that the City Guard wasn't a train wreck, but it's just not my usual workflow. I'm not used to having to think that much when I'm modeling something. I don't know what I'm doing with those little weird feet here. If I put claws on those, it's gonna make them look a lot better. All right, this is looking pretty good. Oh, it's arms, that's why. I'm like, why does this look dumb? I'm like, no wonder, his arms haven't been touched. And that'd be why. All right, Zaxis says, Mia, you might respond very well to the Hawthorne effect. It's a psychology thing where basically people act differently when they know they're being watched. Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's totally true. From a very young age, I kind of just developed this habit of talking as if everyone was listening to me. So it worked well because I didn't gossip very much because I was like, I don't know. I can't remember what it was. There was something happened in middle school where like someone overheard me. I felt so bad about it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna never do that again. I think it's because artists are naturally very self-critical. I'm also like really majorly type A personality. So I don't know, I'm naturally very, very self-critical. And when people are watching me work, for some reason, I don't do that as much. Probably because I wouldn't tolerate someone being that critical to me. So I don't know. So I just don't do it then. It's really weird. It's nice. It's really nice. Which is funny because I avoided live streaming for the longest time because I thought it would put more pressure on myself and I'd be worried about it. Nope, it had the opposite effect. It makes me way more chill. I'm definitely look that up though. Hawthorne effect. It's actually really cool. And I've always wondered about that too with like, I watch a lot of YouTube naturally, so there's a lot of careers that I follow. And I've always wondered what they're actually like in real life. Because to some extent, they have some sort of like a, personality going on, which I think there's no problem with that. Having like a character almost that you play. I know a lot of them are actually pretty genuine, but I'm sure there's a pretty good amount that aren't actually like that all the time. I would go as far as say maybe the majority. I've never been worried about that. I'm not that good of an actress. So what I'm doing right now, it would really pay if I understood anatomy better. I don't, which is fine. It's a work in progress, but I know there's a muscle here, which I made a little too small. And it's kind of like a chain link thing. There's one here, there's another here, and then this one kind of lays on it. Arms do not, the anatomy of it didn't make a lot of sense to me naturally. Legs, surprisingly, made a lot of sense. Because it's like how they move. So there's a big muscle here. I give like a T-band, and then another. I kind of want the knees to be pointier. Like really, really defined. So Zaxxon has more info. He said they did a study of people in a cafeteria, testing whether people would have the same effect. It did. Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. Probably because I don't swear in front of people that I've just met. And since I can't actually see you guys, it's the same kind of thing. I'm like, oh, okay. I should not be like that. That's probably going to change. But as of now, I don't think it's a bad thing. I really shouldn't. There's no reason for me swearing while I make this. I wanted to with the City Guard a few times. Alright. This body looks good enough. I think the worst part is the arms, and the best part is the legs and then the torso. So I'll probably go through. It's probably because the hands don't match at all, and I do think the arms are a little short. So since I've identified that, I might as well try and drag them down a bit. Okay, that also drew attention to why they don't look as good. It's because I didn't give this muscle. I didn't put that in there. Oh, this looks really goofy. There is a muscle here-ish. This is a very good time to stop what I'm doing and look at a reference, but I'm not gonna do it later. My goal is just to block out the character anyway. Okay, I'm turning off perspective because I just want to trim this a little bit so his hands don't look like they fit so weird. Okay, I really want to make his hands look less dumb, but I'm probably gonna be gripping them on a weapon, so I'm not gonna spend the time doing that, but it'd make this look so much better. All right. Ooh, more info. They found out that people were more likely to clean up and throw away their trash when there was a poster that was quote-unquote watching them. Oh, that's awesome. You know, yeah, that is a thing. People are on their best behavior when others are around, or they're cleaner or more polite. I don't see why, but if you guys ever did see my apartment, oh, it is immaculate. That's just kind of how I like to be. Probably because my dad was fairly, I don't want to say strict, but I don't know. We had a very clean house, so that's who was like, quote unquote, I guess, watching me growing up. But then I just ended up liking it. Everything always smells like Clorox bleach and clean laundry, and I love it. That's just how I be. Needless to say, when I lived in the dorms in college, oh my god, I was so stressed out because everyone smelled funky and people showered when they had to, and I'm like, oh my god, why aren't you showering every day? I'm very happy I don't live in a dorm anymore. Okay. This is going to be where a lot of the personality comes in for this character. I'm going to bring down this neck portion a little bit because I want to make sure I bring in those neck muscles. I do want to trim this. Do I have a trim lasso brush? I feel like that's a thing. Yes, it is a thing. Whether you go counterclockwise or clockwise depends what happens. So I went counterclockwise to remove. If I went clockwise, it would have kept that section, deleted the rest. Just keep that in mind because I always forget about that. And I'm like, why is it doing the opposite of what I want? All right, I want to move my reference closer to me. So I'm going to scale it down a little bit and then move it horizontal and vertical. There we go. Again, this face, it's really cool. Don't get me wrong. But doesn't tell me a whole lot about what he actually looks like. So I'm just kind of like looking at it to get the vibe. And I'm just going to kind of do whatever I want. That's what I'm prefacing this with. All right. I have 240,000 polygons. That is a good amount. This guy, he's going to have a really big jaw. I'm going to give him a really big brow, small eyes. I'm going to swoosh that nose up. That's cute button nose. There we go. I'm gonna give him big old tusks as well. Again, this is the kind of thing where it's like, could I sculpt this from scratch? Totally. Was this way faster for me? Absolutely. There's no shame in starting with the base mesh. People that sculpt stuff from scratch every single time, that's great. But people that insist that that's like what true artists do are just being ridiculous. All right, that looks a little weird because I kept the same thickness all the way back and I didn't want to do that. All right, to make that look a little less weird, I'm going to pinch. And also looks a little weird because his lips are like on the same plane. They should come back and into his face a little bit more. Looks kind of like a monkey. I think I didn't do that the way I meant to. Nah, it's fine. Okay. And these eyes are going to be pretty small. I'm going to have him downturned. Nah, he looks so sad if I did that. Alright, now I'm going to go in with a clay buildup brush to, oop, that's not clay buildup, to build up this brow here. Because he's going to be angry looking. This looks like a monkey and I hate it. As a kid growing up, I hated monkeys. I thought they were unclean. I didn't think they were funny. Now I think they're cute, you know, and that's one of my favorite parts of going to the zoo. But I don't want this to look like a monkey. Nope. All right. I think I like that more. I don't like that they stick straight back. So let's just bend this back a little bit. I'm definitely going to work on these ears more later, but this is getting the general shape. All right, let's go through with damn standard. Does this guy have eyebrows? No. Yeah, he does not. So I'm gonna... Oh my gosh, he looks so scary and like humanoid. I know why. It's because his face is so short. I want to bow it out a little more, almost like a minotaur. That looks better. Those lips are killing me. They're so funny looking. Go and smooth that out. There we go. That looks a little better. Okay, Terry's back. Spencer's putting the kids to bed. Hello. See, where I'm at, it's 4:17, so I'm like, putting the kids to bed. Man, that's early. Also, thank you again for the, what you posted on Twitter. That was super nice of you. I'm glad it's helpful. I mean, honestly, I feel a little bad because I'm like, oh, Sculpt Along. But like today, this isn't really Sculpt Along. I'm just doing it. So I'll be more chatty about what I'm doing. Otherwise, this isn't super helpful. Yeah. So right now, I'm just defining the ears by using clay buildup with Alt to carve that out a little bit. And then, of course, alternating with smooth and damp standard to build up these edges. Okay, the eyes are not, they don't have the personality I want them to have. I think it's because I'm making them a little too like sad goblin. I want it to be angry monster. So to fix that, there we go. I need to add a more defined eyelid on top. And just change the eye shape in general. So it's kind of weird because like he doesn't really have that inner tear duct, which makes just adding stuff like that makes stuff like this look way better. Like, okay, bam, now it actually looks kind of possible. I also, because it's supposed to be more like a monster, I'm gonna add a more triangular look to the eyes, mainly because I like that. You'll notice that in a lot of my models, they have that kind of triangular eye shape. I'm also gonna define under the eye a little more. Let's do like a before and after. Let's see if it goes back far enough. Yeah. So that's what I started with, and then this is what I have currently. I don't think it necessarily looks like the concept art a whole lot, but I'm working on it. And the reason for that is because he has like a huge forehead, and then this, he doesn't. So I'm actually going to bring that down before I forget. Oh boy. Let's not bring this down too much. Give him a little square head. Okay, I mentioned at 6 p.m. It's wicked early for kids to sleep, but they're both quite sick. Aw, man. That sucks. At least it's not like the week of Christmas. Hopefully they'll be better by then. Or assuming if you guys celebrate that or not. That's kind of like a habit of mine. I assume like, oh yeah, the whole world celebrates the same thing. So I'm like, oh yeah, duh, not the case. Either way, I hope they feel good, better soon. All right, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's give him some eyeballs. I'm gonna click on B, my brush palette, click on IMM primitive, insert sphere, drag a general eye block. That's about the size that seems correct. Yeah, just stick them in there. That's good enough. And then I'll go to subtool and I'll split them. And I mentioned when I did that before, essentially because if I dynamesh them, it will merge it with the face and I'll get rid of all my details, and I don't want that. His face is still a little long. I can't help but laugh. I just think a lot of this process is funny. So I love his side silhouette. I think this looks pretty good. I don't think this looks so good. So I think there's a couple things going on here. I think his nose is weird. I think I need to make it look more like an animal, so like a cow. So I'm gonna pull that down. So again, I mentioned before, but a lot of modeling, it's not even knowing what to do. It's just a game of spot the difference. Just know what you don't like. And then, that sounds like a negative way of looking at it, but don't be mean to yourself about it. Just be like, oh, okay, I need to improve this. I doubt this guy gets a lot of beauty rest, so let's just kind of block in some messy wrinkles there. Just give some general texture. How am I supposed to wrinkle this nose? He doesn't have like a tip to his nose. There we go. Again, I mentioned the nose is part of like 3 parts. You have the nostril, the little circle tip right here, and then the bridge. When you kind of break it down to those 3 parts, it's a lot easier to manipulate. Okay, my brow really sinks in on one side, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna go through clay buildup and smooth it out. Oh, that's a little too firm. You want to make sure there is a gap between the eyeball and the eyelid, because that's how eyes work. Yeah, his eyes are a little too far back in his head right now, so I'm going to push this up. Also, the brow is sticking out even too far. Alright, it's looking pretty good. I'm going to give him, I think like some cutting cheekbones could be good. Where would his cheekbone be? That was weird. Maybe I won't do that. I don't know. I think his eyes are too big still. So I'm going to get rid of the eyeballs, and then I'm going to reshape this. That's kind of an interesting shape. I kind of like that. I don't like that this line here is so hard and straight. There we go. That's good enough. Eyes are too big, so I'm going to shrink them and move them over. I'm gonna move on from the eyes here pretty soon, because again, you don't want to fidget with or just work on the same thing for too long. You want to make sure you're evenly working on lots of different aspects of the model. Gonna slope this down even more. And then a big thing that's gonna help with this is adding horns. Is perspective turned off? Oh my goodness, no wonder this looks so dumb. Don't forget to turn on perspective, because when it's off, it just squishes everything back. Yeah, that looks a lot better to me. I don't know why I turned that off and forgot. I'm usually pretty good about that. Oh well. Yeah, I like this. Again, it does not look really anything like this, and that's okay. That wasn't really my goal. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this. I'm definitely not going to call it Tanaruk. I'm pretty sure that's a copyright issue with D&D. And plus, it doesn't really even look like the concept art. It just can be used as a nice placeholder. All right, I just move those down. That way I have more space for the horns. Speaking of, I have a really awesome horn brush that I got from Flipped Normals. Hello.
Hey, hey.
I grabbed laundry.
Yes.
Sweet.
Grabbing the card just in case I need to run it again.
Smart. Is this looking too much like Hellboy? Or is this looking like a monster?
Oh no, that's monster for
Cool,
sure.
thanks. So I was like, I looked at it for a second and I'm like, oh no, I don't want that. Alright, let's see. Right, there's some horns I like. Definitely not bad. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna make these our own object. So I inserted an object, and if I click on W to have the 3D gizmo and I click on something like this, it will make the sphere whatever that object is. If it disappears, just go to deformation and unify. Oh, that's actually perfect. That's exactly what I want. Perfect. So it has like this little plate right here, which I don't want. So I'm gonna go to geometry, I'm gonna Dynamesh the shape, and it's okay if it's low resolution because I'm adding my own details to it and stuff. I'm gonna turn off perspective and then trim to get rid of that little plate. There we go. All right. And again, you can make your own horns super easily just by importing like a sphere or a cylinder, and then using the move brush and Dynamesh to block out the shape you want. I just think it's cool to have pre-made ones. Makes it easy. It is a little thin. I don't know why this one's so thin. Yeah, I'll have to work with that to give that more shape. My music is gone. There we go. Does this look better the other way? Yes, it does. So I can hold shift and click on this and it will do an increment. So I can do an exact like 180 if I wanted to. For this, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's changed a little bit, but if you do need to do like precise measurements or make things exactly perpendicular, that is the way to do it. I'm pretty happy with this. Before I keep it there though, I'm definitely gonna add more form to this because it's really thin. For what I'm trying to do anyway. And again, backface mask is imperative for this. If this isn't on, it's going to like destroy the back of the mesh. When adding forms to stuff like horns, it can be really helpful if you are adding up shape in the like with the grain of it, if that makes sense. If I try to do like this, for example, I mean, it's gonna work just fine because I can just smooth it out, but when I do it like this, I don't have to worry about smoothing it out so much. If I leave some of those lines there, it actually will look pretty good. I wanna make sure I don't lose like the edge. Cool. I didn't. I'm gonna Dynamesh the slightly higher resolution. That made it look worse. There we go. Gonna lower the intensity a bit. And yeah, I don't have to have this alpha on here. I could just use it without it. But I kind of like the lines that it's building in and the general messiness of it. I kind of just like sculpting things that are messier. Probably because I still don't know how to use a Z modeler brush. All right. And then I want to add some sharpness to the bottom of the horn there, and I know exactly where to do that. I have an armor brush. All these FN, these are all part of the Flip Normals pack. They had a huge Black Friday sale, so it was half off for the commercial license. And I'm like, heck yeah, I want that. That'll save me time. Because again, can I sculpt it from scratch? Absolutely. But why? This saves me a lot of time. That being said, I do think I would be a better artist or more properly technically trained, I guess, if I did do everything from scratch. But I'm also in like the game of production. I want to finish things quickly. Not just to make money, but just because I don't like tediously doing the same thing for very long. Oh, sweet. Was it done?
What's that?
Was it done?
Yep.
Yay. I will join you shortly.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you. I hate doing laundry. So does he. So that's why I want to make sure I was offering to do it as well. It's funny, like dishes, everything else we're super cool with, but laundry is just not my thing, man. The trick is just not to have that many clothes. That way you have to do your laundry regularly. I think that's looking decent. I'm gonna increase resolution. That didn't increase at all. Oh, right. I have to change the mesh for it to recalculate. There we go. I'm going with smart smoothing, which means that I'm not losing form. I'm just blending out the top details. I do that by holding shift, clicking, and then letting go of shift. So this is really rough looking, and I kind of like it. I don't like how, I don't know, I feel like the tip of it could look better. So I'll go with my pinch brush. The problem with this is that that looks better, but that's like impossible to 3D print. So it's this balance of pinching and then going in with inflate. That actually worked out really well. All right, we go with damn standard. Oh, dots is fine. And then going in with alpha and adding some scarring. You could totally do this without an alpha. But again, time saver. All right. All right, some chatting in the comments. Cat is back. Oh, that's good. It's always nice when you have neighbors that can house watch. Carrie said, I still don't understand the basics of Dynamesh and when to use higher polygons or low. I'll check out other videos later. I'm sure you explained it already. I did explain it already, but like, hey, you're here. And the whole point of this is to teach. So I'm more than happy to explain. So essentially, you're going to want very low polys when you're first starting off. So resolution around like 100, 200. But Dynamesh resolution is completely dependent on the size of your object. So for example, if I go here and I make this really big like that, I could do a much lower resolution and it'll keep more detail. So if you're running into problems where Dynamesh isn't keeping enough detail, you can actually make your object larger and that will help solve some of the problem. I recommend adding more polygons when you're adding fine detail work. Like what I'm doing now, I'm adding like these fine scratches and stuff. And if I go to a low Dynamesh resolution, see, it really blurs them out. I don't want that. So I'll go to a higher one, maybe 2700, and there we go, you kept them. If that wasn't a super in-depth explanation, feel free to let me know and I can give you more information. That's kind of like the general overview. It's retopologizing it, so I can do a quick example right here too. If I grab my move brush and if I stretch this out, like a lot, okay, there we go. See how it's kind of like tearing right here and you're getting like holes and it, if I try and sculpt detail on this right now, nothing happens because the polygons are so stretched out. So it's cool with Dynamesh. You can see it happen live. You look at this area. Bam. Now it's all retopologized and now I can sculpt little details on there. Now, I'd want to do that with a low resolution usually if I'm blocking out shapes and stuff. Okay, if I remember correctly, there's this really cool thing I can do with this to make it look like it's chipped or made out of wood. I don't know if it would look good, but I want to try it. Let me save. I haven't saved yet. I'm really living on the edge. Again, I'm not going to call this a tanner rack. I don't know what I'm going to call this. All right, I have a notebook next to me somewhere. Here you go. Terry says, so once you've added the finer details, you can't lower Dynamesh or it messes it up. Yep, you got it. All right, let me look through my notebook here. I was really into bullet journaling at one point, so I have this really cute notebook. I might show pictures in the Discord at some point. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna show you guys something cool. I might not keep it on here, but this is a brand new thing I learned recently. So you can apply texture to something. It's essentially what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna turn off that back plate. So what you do is you go to morph target, you store morph target, and then you're gonna go to surface, and then go to noise. It brings up this brand new palette, which I've like never looked at before. Okay, frame, there we go. And see how it looks all grainy? Because it applies a natural just noise to it. But I don't want this one, I want something different. So if you go to noise plug, you have all these different options. I'm sure if you're looking at this and like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm right there with you. I learned this like 2 days ago. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I'm gonna go to wood, and then there's different things I can do with it, which is really cool. So I'll go to wood. You know what? I think it's like Voronoi. It makes it look like wood. So let's do this one and see what this looks like. Okay, and then strength equals 1. Say okay. I had to change something here. Okay, I need to turn off noise. Because that's like making it super dirty. Where did I turn off noise? Anyway, you're getting an idea of like what's going on here anyway. Try to figure out how to get rid of all the noise on there. Because like that, I definitely don't want. That looks goofy. Just messing with stuff and sliders to get what I want. Oops. Green. Yeah, I guess I'll have to mess with this later. This didn't really do what I wanted it to. But this is still a really cool thing. I recommend you guys play around with it. Ooh, that looks gross. Frame. Oh, there we go. That's making it look better. It's really hard to move around with this though. Recenter. There we go. There we go. Yeah, how cool is this? So the way I fixed this, I just changed the noise scale. Instead of being so low, I maxed it out. And then, yeah. So now I can get like those little wood chips in it, which looks really cool. Hello, Arcane Octopus. So let's see if I can change that again. Go to edit, I'm gonna say. I made ZBrush crash. It hated this. Oh well, I guess we're done talking about how to add texture. But that is a cool, wow, that was so lame. that is a cool thing you can do to make them look like chipped wood. All right, let's see if there is a more recent quick save. Let's see, ZBR. I don't want that. I want ZPR. I want the whole project. Yes, I'm going to have to scroll through again. I need to delete these. We're covered. There we go. See, I didn't lose anything. Which makes sense, because again, I have autosave on every 3 minutes. I don't think I wanted the wood chip look on there anyway. I do have a really cool scar brush that I got. Again, I use a lot of brushes. If you're like, oh my goodness, sculpt it from scratch, I can totally do that too. Again, I'm just like, I want to get something done. Where is my scar brush though? Scar, did I not add it? I might not have added it. I didn't. Okay, whatever. In that case, I'm going to do it myself, how I used to do it when I sculpted it from scratch. I put on this alpha. I make the intensity really high, and I go to a different method to sculpt things. Instead of dots, I use drag rectangle, because now I can just drag stuff on. I have a lot more control of how it falls on there. So if you're sculpting with a mouse, for example, this would be really, really helpful. Because I just add like some big cracks in it. You know, I'm actually going to wait to add cracks until the end, and I'll add those as asymmetrical details. That kind of just makes it look more cool. All right. I don't like how that's looking. I'm gonna move this away, stretch it out. I'm not crazy about that. Trying to think of why I don't like it. Yeah, I think it'd help it point forward more. That's better. I think that edge should probably be more on the bottom. So I'm gonna rotate this. Yeah, it's better. I'm gonna add the other one. So I go to subtool, duplicate, deformation, mirror. It looks better when they're both there. If I merge them down and then turn on symmetry by clicking on X, then I can manipulate them together. Yeah, I think this hump right here, at first I thought was cool because it looked elegant, and then it ended up looking too elegant. I don't think I want that many curves. If I make this straight instead, I think it'll look better. There we go. Gonna make these a bit thicker too. Yeah, it looks good. All right, I like that. And then now I want to make sure it looks like it actually flows into the skull here. I'm just using clay buildup and smooth. I'm not going to really do a ton of work here because I want to add more little horns around these. I also want to add like a fur texture like what he has. I think that's really cool. I think that these come a little too low. I still feel like he looks too nice. There we go. More of a sneer. Yeah, there we go. He looked too droopy before. That one difference, that helped a lot. So again, that's a really good reason of why I didn't just stick to the eyes. I made sure to move away from them because now when I looked back at it later, it was a lot easier for me to see what I needed to change. It only took a few seconds. So it just helps to try and find that balance of how much time to spend on something. Yeah, this is looking cool. I love working on monsters. Again, let's see if I can do that before and after. Oh no, I can't do the before and after because it crashed. Lame. Oh well. Yeah, when this is archived, people can always just look back to the beginning. Nah, I didn't like that. Okay, let's add more horns. Horn. And, ooh, dagger. That sounds interesting. That's ridiculous. Okay. I think I might actually like to use the horns on the horns. Maybe. It's not going the direction I want at all, which is fine. It's because these work perpendicular, which I know that. I'm not sure why I'm surprised. This is working not the way I want it to. Ooh, adding some broken horns could be cool. These are just coming out too far. I want them to be a lot stubbier. So what I can do is I can, also, where do I even want to put them? I'm actually not sure. I put these so far forward that there's not really a great place to put these. Because in the reference picture, these horns are actually like way down here. They're actually right behind the ears. I might actually like that more. Let's try it out. Also, a fun fact, if you touch stuff together and then pull it apart, it does this madness when you're in symmetry. So make sure not to overlap stuff in symmetry, because it makes a big old mess. All right, I think that's closer to how the reference looks. Kind of. My horn shape is a lot different, so it's not necessarily working well there. I think that looks dumb. It looks great in the reference, but mine just looks too different. Let's see. Carrie asked, is there a hotkey for the move brush? There sure is. One, you can just dock it down here, or you click on B, M, and then where's it? V. And the reason I know that is because, oops, B is for the brush palette. I click on M because the move brush starts with the letter M, and then it shows right here, V. So I want to do move topological, I'd click B, M, T. So in this case, B, M, V. So there you go. Just kind of messing with these. I made this look a little more like a minotaur, because that's honestly the vibe I'm getting from this. Doesn't look super like a minotaur, but okay. Don't want the horns to go like this. Don't want them to go like this. I'm just kind of just playing with shape here, because this silhouette here needs to change. I think I want it to be like a classic, like longhorn bull kind of thing. If you guys played Dragon Age Inquisition, I am thinking of Iron Bolt right now. That is one of my favorite games of all time. But for some reason, BioWare just keeps making Mass Effect games that no one wants. Anyway, I won't rant about that. But yeah, major salt about that. Alright, that's looking better. I need to make sure that the horn base still maintains a logical shape. Yeah, That looks better. That's a better silhouette. I'm looking up here a lot to see what my silhouette looks like. I think I'm gonna add just like fur. But I don't want it to look like hair. But I mean, it's gonna, because it's fur on his head. There's a really cool fur brush, which I might not use a fur brush for this, because I mean, it's gonna look like weird hair. Ew, no, we're not doing that. Nope, sculpting from scratch. Just to see if I even want that look. Shift and P will get rid of the floor and your reference picture, just in case you get that where it's overlapping in the back and you don't want to have to try and look through it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it kind of like this, where he does have hair, but it's more like swept back. I don't know if it's possible for orcs to have, I mean, orcs can have hair, because this is an orc tainted by a demon, in case you didn't see at the beginning of the stream when I was looking that up. Whatever. This is whatever I want it to be right now. Either way, I just think this looks kind of cool. It doesn't look super like hair because my damn sander brush isn't fine enough, but that's okay. I can worry about adding details like that later. This looks kind of scary in like The Grudge because it's just wrinkled skin. I mean, part of the reason it looks like that is because my matte cap is this peachy skin color too, but. Ooh. Just adding an earlobe really quick. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. He definitely needs that. Same with this. There should be volume on top of the ear. In case you're wondering why I know to add stuff here, I don't know. I've looked at ears a lot. That's pretty much my answer for that. If you want to understand anatomy, just look at it a lot. That's why I'm saying online, like, I don't know, at a bank or something. I never go to the bank. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, it's fun. I just people watch and people reference. So using Alt and Dam Sander is a great way to build up form around horns. Yeah, he looks mean. Heck yeah. Loving this. Now let's see if this fits with the body at all. If not, it's okay. Can fix it. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. The lack of clothing and these tiny feet are killing me. It looks so goofy. Oh my goodness, I can't stop saying the word goofy. I don't say that in real life. Not that this isn't real life, but whatever, you know what I mean. There's not like a problem with the word. It's just like, I don't know. It's not my vocabulary usually. All right, we're gonna add, okay, first things first, we're gonna connect his head to his body. That'd be a good first start. I can do so pretty loosely because I'm going to merge these later, and then once I merge them, then I'm gonna add the musculature here. In the reference, I mean, his head's really, really low actually. I kind of like that. So instead of adding a neck, I think I might just move the body upwards. I'll lose the hands, but that's fine. Also, his head is too small, so I'll just make the body smaller. Something about this I don't like, and I don't know what it is yet. But I'll leave it alone. I won't be too worried about that. Okay, let's add this, what is that called? A tabard. So going to extract, thickness 0, no borders, -0. Does that make a difference? -0? Pretty sure that's not a thing. All right, half series measure. I go solo so I can really look at it. Why aren't you halving? I guess it's as low as it's gonna go. Yeah, that's fine. All right. plate brush. I'm going to duplicate this because this, one of these is going to be the belt and the other one is going to be the part that actually stretches down. There we go. Make sure symmetry is on. Is it? I see the dots, but okay, cool. It wasn't working the way I thought it was going to. Gosh, these demon monsters and their lack of clothes, I swear, cracks me up. This is so unpractical. Don't they get cold? Or I guess the whole point of being a demon is they're like in the fiery pits of some hell, I guess. So maybe not. Maybe temperature is not the biggest of their concerns. I'm always cold, so I'm always confused with stuff like this. Alright, Terry says, when I imported the dragon head in the mesh mixer to scale it, it came in super tiny. Is that usually how it goes for you too? I may have exported from ZBrush incorrectly though. Yeah, it's pretty normal. If you want to control the scale, you go to 3D Print Hub and then go here. So the dragon head was small. Oh, the one you made, right. Yeah, that's pretty normal. If you go to here, that can help with it when you export. Kat said, it's funny how often I hear sculptors on live stream say there's something here I don't know what it is, I'll fix it later. Makes me not feel so bad when I say it too. Oh yeah, no, totally. I also said half of the words that you type for some reason. I was skipping. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's good just to know something's wrong here. I don't know what. I'll handle it later. What I find a lot of the times is that by the time I get back to it, I actually do like it. And that can be one of two things. It can be a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing being, oh cool, I was fixating on something that wasn't actually a problem. The bad thing, it might mean you've been looking at your model for too long, and so then your eyes kind of make it look okay, even if it's not. So definitely avoid doing that. I've done both. That's about as good as I'm gonna get that to look as of right now. If I divide it, does it look less goofy? Ah, that word. Maybe I do think that word a lot. I'm not used to talking through my workflow, you know. Alright, Z-remesher. It's not wanting to smooth there. It's being really weird about it. Smooth. Alright, whatever. You win. Alright, I'm going to bring this in more and then work on the belt. There we go. I do like this shape that's forming right there, but whatever. I want a belt. So belt it is. I'm probably gonna put an animal head right here too. It's gonna look super gnarly and cool. Yeah, that's cool. I like it. All right, frame mesh, my favorite thing. And scales, I think would, nope. Scales, I think will look really good here. So if I turn on symmetry, it's gonna lay them back over each other and it looks like fur almost, which I don't want. If I do it without symmetry, it'll wrap around and look much better. So if I click W, I can inflate these a little bit. And the reason I do that is because if I don't, they barely touch, and that is a 3D printing nightmare. There we go. Good enough. They still don't touch, but it's okay. Trust me. Go split. Oh, sweet. And then Kat followed up to Terry about 3D Print Hub. And yeah, that's a lot easier to scale your stuff with. All right, his funny little feet. They're weird. So, I could sculpt them, but I don't want to. And I know I have a monster foot brush that does something very close to what I want. I think these feet would work really well for this. Partly because I feel like the toes on this one are weirdly close together as well. To make stuff fast, it's kind of a combination of kit bashing, learning anatomy, all that kind of jazz. It's a little bit of everything. Again, don't feel bad about taking stuff and references and brushes. All right. These are a little thin. Inflate. Turn off perspective so I can get a flat-footed bottom there. I might mess with the shape a bit here too. And part of the thing is, like, if I couldn't sculpt this from scratch at all, I probably wouldn't know how to change it to get what I want either. So make sure, like, if you've never sculpted a helmet, for example, like what I did yesterday, I recommend at least trying it once before just taking something else, because then you're not even going to know how to really change it to fit what you need anyway. All right. Reading the comments really quick. Terry didn't use 3D print him. It's okay, I never use it either actually. ZBrush is happiest when your model fits within a +1 to -1 boundary box. So you start with a sphere, export to 2 mm diameter without changing that. That is totally true. I forgot about that. I also love the way you phrase that. ZBrush is happiest when. So true. Where is my music? Yeah, YouTube like pauses my videos now. It's like, oh, your video is paused. You want to continue? I'm like, yeah, I never wanted to stop. Why did you do that? Maybe because it's a music channel. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and stick this foot on there. His feet are so small right now. I think they're so small, partly I did that because they're pretty small in the reference, but also because I was getting like this Minotaur vibe, which I'm moving away from now. Going to this demon orc thing, which is what it's supposed to be. I'm still trying to think of a good name for this. I feel like these feet are too big now. You know, they're probably not too big. It just looks like that to me because they were so small before. It is getting, it's about 5, so I'll be signing off pretty soon here because I have people coming over. Subtool, duplicate, deformation, mirror. Woo, beats. And I'm gonna merge these down. I'm gonna merge this down to the body as well, so I can start workshopping those together and making them look cohesive. And then if I do need to resculpt, if I'm not happy with it, I can do so. All right. It's Ricky. Hey.
It's Ricky.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Yourself?
Good. Look how monster he looks.
Oh, no way.
That's
so cool.
It is, but like, oh my god, look at his funny little hands. Oh wait, there's a lot to do still. I'm trying to get to the point where I get to a render that's not embarrassing to look at. I'm very much so in the embarrassing stage now.
I got all the laundry you put away. It took forever. We had so much laundry.
I know, so I felt bad that you were doing it by yourself. I know you hate laundry.
But I think in the first time in history, none of our socks went unmatched.
Really?
Yep. Even all your cat socks, they had like their perfect match.
I love my cat socks. That's like a huge win.
Right?
These hands look really gross, and I think it works well for a model like this. Again, I'm just gonna probably sculpt them into, excuse me, a fist anyway, but what are some that would look good? It's like a nice base. I got a lot of these brushes, like this one is free actually, and on Bad King. I'm pretty sure it's fine for commercial use, but again, I wouldn't recommend just grabbing it, not changing it all, and then calling it your own, because that's just not cool. These need to be mirrored. Okay, this isn't working. I'm gonna move this to the middle, and now it should make one hand. There we go. Ah. this monster is getting away from me a little bit. And by that, I mean I'm having a somewhat hard time making it look cohesive. But that's also because it's really early too. Information mirror. Let's merge those together. All right, these are definitely too big. Oops. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's wrong. That looks better. Because I want them to be kind of short. Again, I don't know why I'm spending too much time on this. I'm literally just going to sculpt them from scratch into a fist. Whatever. And yeah, I was probably having a hard time with the arms earlier because I had nothing to transition them into because I couldn't get to the hands. So now that I've added these, it's gonna be a lot easier for me, or, you know, not for everyone. For me, I really need everything to connect. Otherwise I have a hard time. If there's like this gap right here is also making it hard for me to visualize those as one cohesive piece. Okay, I know there's a muscle here. There's a muscle here. That stretches back. There's another one here. There's an elbow. I don't know what happens here. I always forget what the heck is happening here. I'm sure there's something. So that gets a light scribble. Yeah, welcome to Mia's super accurate anatomy lesson. Jokes. Okay. This is... See, I want to make these accurate, but at the same time, I don't want them to touch the body because it's going to make it really hard to pose later. Nah, it's okay. There we go. Those are looking better. Terry says, Orky Mr. Orc face. Yes, I'm glad it looks orc, because it's supposed to. Oops, let's not mess with that. Alright, and then... yeah, those are really round pecs. Those just look like a breast. Let's not. That's better. They should have volume, but they shouldn't be that voluminous. Voluminous. Wow, that is not a word that I say out loud very often. There would be stuff there. There would be a muscle here. There's actually a lot of muscles here, and they're really cool, and they like overlap and do cool stuff, and I never know how to sculpt them correctly. I'll deal with that later. Again, just doing a real light blocking out right now. Okay, I am gonna merge the head down. I usually don't do this early, but I really want to connect the head to the body and make this make sense, because as of now, he's bothering me. I'm getting impatient. Okay, I'm at 3.7 million points. That's a lot. I don't want that. I'm okay if this gets rid of a lot of detail in the face, because there's really not that much detail in the face. I'm just blocking out like a general frame. There we go. This is almost 1 million points, but I can still smooth really easily. Yeah, perfect. This is best of all worlds, and then I should be able to get a nice render out of this too. Okay, a few things. One, I need to connect the muscles here that hold up his face. They're like here-ish. There'd be another set here-ish. If you're wondering how I know this, again, I look at people a lot. And I still get it wrong because anatomy is complicated. All right, he's also missing some bones up here, which is why he looks weird. He's missing his collarbone clavicles, or what these are called. Your sternum also stands out here. This comes down, like this bone right here stands out more than I ever thought it did until I read it in every anatomy book ever. And I was like, oh, okay, I believe you now. And then it goes here, where there's like a chronicon or whatever the crap. That's how it connects. So that's the point where it connects. Minus how confused I sound. This is making the model look better. Bad anatomy is better than no anatomy. I'm just kidding. That doesn't make any sense. Use references. I will say that constantly, especially because I'm not using enough. One reference, that is not enough. Yeah, look how much better he looks now that I just connected his head. See, I get so impatient. I'm like, I just want I just want this to look good all the time, which I mentioned there is an embarrassing stage when you're sculpting, and you don't need to fight it. You can just let it look okay, you know, like, because you know it's gonna look really good. But I want to eat my cake and have it too, which is gonna make this whole process a little slower, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. What if he had like a dimple in his chin? His lips are killing me. They look so goofy. It's like Muppet lips. Me. Before I mess with them too much, I need to just add tusks. I gotta say, I am like super proud of how fast this came together. I'm pretty sure I haven't been modeling for that long. I do talk about speed and time a lot. I want to be really clear. Just because you can model something good, you know, or great or whatever quickly, that's not really the goal. Like, I make it a goal because I'm ultra competitive with myself. I've always been like that. I think it's like that super type A personality. But make sure you don't get obsessed with that because it's really not the point. I have a lot of like do as I say, not as I do crap, but I promise it's with best intent in mind. I didn't add any back muscles, and that's for two reasons. One, because I forgot, and two, because they're complicated as heck. Let me show it to you guys. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you've never really looked at someone's back and seen how much is going on, it's ridiculous. Yeah, cool. So you got the spine, which everyone remembers, but then you have like this stuff and this L-shaped stuff. Yeah, trapezius, I don't know. This is just not intuitive to me. This is, yeah. So we're gonna throw in some L stuff. This I don't mind. That I'm okay with. L stuff, not so much. Trapezius. I need to use real words. Traps. L stuff. Yeah. But not too close because that's too strong. Because, again, the spine, there's a gap for the spine. And then there's this stuff. And again, even though this is really light, it's just general blocking out. So for later, when I am posing him, I remember these things and how they connect. So I make poses that are actually possible. Honestly, I think my poses are kind of boring because I don't go that far out there. As I get better with anatomy, of which I am improving, I'll have cooler poses. So yeah, that's another good reason to learn anatomy. You can make cooler poses. And having a good pose makes your character just way more convincing and fun to look at. All right, his weird, like, sculpted head is going to get smoothed out a little bit. I will add hair later. As of now, no, it looks dumb. All right. Terry asked, how do you get the profile display in the top left like that? That seems handy. And then Kat answered, saying that's a 2020 feature. And it is. This just naturally goes up there. And I'm pretty sure if you go to preferences, thumbnail, there you go. I can make it go away or come back. So there you are. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with this. Woo. Let's put some teeth on this bad boy and then call this a day. This was kind of again a short live stream. Not because I don't love you guys, but because I have social plans. Which doesn't happen super often. I love my people, but I don't love being away from home very much. Hence why they're even coming over. I swear I don't have like agoraphobia or anything. I love being home. It's part of the reason I love being an artist. I don't have to leave. All right. So I'm making a tooth right now. So I imported a sphere. And then now I just pinched off the top. I could have done that with taper. Yeah. And then I'll go to bend arc to get my curvature for my tooth. There we go. It's a little bit of a wavy tooth. I'm gonna turn off perspective to make sure that this is straight. It's gonna be a tusk off of his face, so it doesn't need to be perfectly straight, but it really helps when it starts off pretty straight. All right, this is definitely like a right tusk. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And we're gonna keep it that big. No, I'm kidding. Do-do. That's cool. And then I'm gonna inflate a little bit. That didn't do anything. Good. Yeah, I'm really not keeping these lifts consistent, and that's fine. All right, we're going to duplicate, deformation mirror, merge down. Ooh, now that there's two of them, I don't like it. That's for a few reasons, probably. They need to be higher, farther apart. Usually when I add the other one, I like it more. Not the case for this. Let's Control Z. Actually, I kind of like that. There we go. That makes more sense. I don't know what I was trying to do before. Yeah, so I obviously want these to wrap, the skin to wrap around the tusk. That's what would make the most sense. Ah, what a pout. What a great face. A great expression, better said. The face needs some help. So it's real low resolution right now, but I can still go through and clean up some details a little bit. And go through and define that nostril better. Okay, no. I'm gonna make the brush size somewhat big with a high intensity to carve out that lip. There we go. Make that make sense. Big old pout. Heck yeah. Yeah, I should have started the live stream week off with this. Again, anyone new that jumped in, I am really enjoying these live streams. I might make this a regular and normal perk. If I do that, I might stop doing the written tutorials though, just take a little bit off my plate. So I'll make a poll about that later. But if that sounds like a better trade-off, which I imagine these are way more helpful than the written tutorials, let me know. Or if you're like, I definitely need both, they're both cool. I'm a sucker. I'd be like, okay, I like you guys. I'll do both. The written tutorials really don't take that much time. Heck yeah. It's been a while I've had this much fun making a creature. And by been a while, like, I don't know, just before the city guard. I can't stop complaining about that model. I actually looked at it this morning and I am so happy with it. It's looking really cool. It's just because I don't know, I complained about it in the beginning. It's fun to keep complaining about. What can I say? Complaining's fun. All right, I'm gonna do a couple more things and then I'm going to finally sign off because I keep saying I'm going to and then I don't because I'm having way too much fun. All right, frame mesh. I'm gonna put a little strap thing on it. Nope, I'm not going to because there's multiple subdivision levels. Just kidding. Oh my goodness, why did it do that? Ah! No ZBrush. God, scared me to death. Okay, weird. I cleared that problem by hitting Control N, by the way, in case you're wondering. Woo! Subtool, split, split. And then just for the sake of the render, I'm gonna do a few things. Save, save. All right, I'm gonna put a slight side view on this. It is clipping his knees weird, but I need to stop fixing stuff, otherwise I'm going to finish this model all in one run and my friends are going to be sad that I won't hang out with them, which makes sense because I invited them here. All right, I'm going to go to, if I just render it here, I notice it doesn't do a great job with the shadows. If you do merge visible for a quick render, it does a better job. I don't know why, it just does. All right, so going to render, BPR shadow, decreasing the strength-ish, decreasing this-ish, gamma around 1-ish, 45-ish, blur around 5. Yeah, real high tech, guys. There we go. I want more shadows though. So if I want more shadows, I can just increase. Oh wow, that got dropped way farther. I didn't mean for that. They'd be around 0.8-ish is what I like. There we go. Yeah, it looks mean. I'm definitely gonna define the muscles way better. I'm probably gonna wait to that till once I get a pose in mind too. But yeah. I'm really happy with this. Cat mentions he looks pretty grumpy. I'm glad. I want him to look mean. Because again, it's an orc that's been cursed, or I already forgot what's the deal. It has been tainted by an evil outsider. So you know what? I'd be pretty pissy too. He doesn't want to be like this. Alright. Cat mentioned I also use ZBrush's modeling cap a lot until I make my own. That's so cool that you make your own. And then Terry says, it's nice that you can go back and watch these and pause when needed. Yeah, I'm really glad. That's why I really need to get that little keyboard capture thing right here. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up for today. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm, again, really surprised so many joined when I did it like an hour earlier. I'm assuming this is actually a pretty good time for most of you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll get this guy looking cool in more detail. All right, bye-bye. Everyone joined still. There were
Yeah.
8 people the whole time. It was awesome.